Hello, everybody. I would like to apologize real quick. The first episode of the CHEL podcast had some technical difficulties, or some audio issues, I should say. My voice was primarily louder than everyone else that was in the call at the time. I apologize. Like I said, second episode should have fixed audio. I know exactly what I need to do. So please, if you do want to watch this video, if you want to watch this first episode of the podcast, you can go right ahead. But like I said, there are some audio issues. My apologies. Enjoy the episode.
Okay. We all agree on this, right?
Yes, we're recording now.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Challenge Hill podcast. I'm Sporty, and today's I messed that up. All right.
What a way! What an opening to the podcast. Completely unedited. Not editing that out.
Today's this week I met. This week's guest, we got me, TBC, Harry Rice, Ray Bro, and Owen Oakley. This is our first podcast, so we'll go up on the Harry Rice channel. Be sure to subscribe. He doesn't deserve it. Don't forget to like it. He doesn't deserve it. Don't forget to dislike. He really does deserve that. And
Wow.
comment below what you think of the podcast.
You're probably gonna hate
How
it.
you guys doing tonight?
Great.
I'm doing fine.
Yes.
How could you diss to Harry Rice all that song?
Well, I mean, he's recording and it's going on his channel. Of course, I have to diss him.
Well, I mean,
he
Sporty,
does-
I don't think
he
you
does
want anyone
deserve
knowing
his
you're a
subscription
Sabres
and
fan.
a like.
Well, I'd rather. Too shy.
Alright.
There's a lot to talk about in the world of hockey, despite it being before the play-ins and the overall playoff. Like the draft lottery is this Friday.
Yes,
what do
it
you guys
is.
think is gonna happen?
Buffalo is gonna draft 15th overall.
Okay, I don't even think that's possible, but still, fuck you.
No, but seriously, I'm gonna go on a hot take.
I have a good idea. Alright. So the Leafs are going to lose to Columbus, right? Everyone's going to laugh at them and call them the Laughs. Then we're going to get Lafreniere and we're still going to be called the Laughs.
No, you're just gonna be called the Laughs. Dude, the Leafs are gonna lose at losing. They're gonna draft like 7th overall and draft some guy that's supposed to go in the 6th round.
Yeah, no one Leafs luck. He's gonna turn out to be a stud.
After like what,
Honestly-
5 years?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think right
Who
now.
do you think is gonna be
San
the
Jose-
biggest bust in the draft? Honestly,
A hot take?
Lafreniere.
Alexis Lafreniere.
What?
you don't think
Ooh.
Lafreniere's gonna transition? You think he's gonna be like a Yakupov?
I think he's gonna be like a
I don't think
Yakupov.
it's gonna be that bad.
Bro, what are you
I don't
talking
think it's
about,
gonna be
man?
that bad.
Yeah,
think
you're
I
on
can
some
use
apple
your hot
juice, so
take.
just nah.
Well, for some reason,
I
I've just
feel
had
like
this
he's
feeling
using
for a
hot
while.
takes.
I've had this feeling for a while. Whenever I hear Alexis Lafreniere, I don't think big hockey superstar.
I mean, what do you think of him? Like, who do you compare him to?
I don't know. I'm kind of comparing him to like. There's no one I can really think to compare him to, but I just see him as like a 3rd or 4th line guy. Like,
Damn, that's a hot take for sure.
yeah, thank you.
That's a hot take.
Speaking of hot take, we got a certain somebody that just joined,
Hot take hockey. Welcome to the Challenge Hill podcast.
which means I got to add him
How's
to
it
the.
going, guys?
Hey,
I'm doing good.
You
How
just
about
missed it. Harry Rice just chugged some apple juice and said that Alexis Lafreniere is gonna be a bust in this league.
Wow.
What's your take on
Not sure if I
Lafreniere?
agree with that. I think Lafreniere is going to. I don't know if he's going to be a generational talent, but I think he's going to be one of those guys, top elite forward in the league, 70, 80 points. So I wouldn't have him in the Connor
Ferris.
McDavid, Sidney Crosby tier, but if we're talking about like first overall picks, like probably better than a Taylor Hall.
It's like a
So I think
John
you kinda put him in
Tavares.
that
I was
category.
thinking somewhere in the
Exactly.
middle of Taylor Hall and Nathan McKinnon, like right in the middle of that
Yeah.
spectrum.
Yeah, I would
That's
somewhat
where I
agree
would
with
slot
that.
Lafreniere.
In terms of production, I would somewhat agree with that. Yeah.
Honestly, I think that Marco Rossi could be a bust.
Marco Rossi.
I mean, like the OHL is just like a hard league, and he was playing on
Yeah,
a
I
really
don't-
good team with Jack Quinn. So
Jack Quinn is expected to be the highest goal scorer of the draft, right?
Yeah, but Jack Quinn, in my opinion, is also overrated. Not gonna lie. In the draft,
He's just
I
like
think
kind of like an
on-
Arthur
yeah.
Kaliev and Cole Caulfield.
Yes. I think like Alexander Holtz could be like a really good player.
Bro, I think
I
people are
think
sleeping on
Alexander
Lucas
Holtz.
Raymond.
I think Alexander Holtz will arguably be the best goal scorer, actually, just based on what
Yeah.
I've seen in his shot. I think he has
Think of
that
it like
natural
this.
ability.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with that. I think Lucas Raymond has what it takes to be the best goal scorer of the draft. I think he has the best shot out of all of them.
I don't know,
That
but
being said-
I don't know about I think Lucas Raymond might be the better.
A playmaker.
I would say all around player, just offensively. But I just look at Holt's dynamic and his mechanics and his shot. In his shot in itself, it kind of not in his play style, but in his shot, it reminds me a little bit of Patrick Laine. Like his release, he's able to shoot like from really in close, and
It's
I don't
very
know. I
decisive.
just and he's even maybe it's a little bit of his right hand shot, but I do see like comparables. But he's definitely a lot faster than Patrick.
Yeah, the guy's got speed. He's got a great shot. I think he's going to transition into the league well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in this draft, we have a Tendy who's likely going to go in the top 10, and
Yaroslav
Askarov,
Askarov, yep.
playing with St. Petersburg at the KHL right now. What do you guys think? Is he going to be the next Carey Price?
If you're
Honestly,
talking
he
about
might take
No,
time.
I don't think so.
He might take time to develop.
What?
But I think he could be a franchise goalie, in my
He-
opinion.
I honestly think
Really good
if he falls past number 5, I'm gonna say if you look at this draft list in 10 years, you're gonna wonder how the hell did Askarov not go top 5?
Basically, who do you see in the top 5? Besides basic 3 of Lafreniere, Stutzel, and Byfield. Like, who are the other two?
Honestly, I think Thomas Borleau. I've been watching him play with the NTTP with like Jacob Sanderson. Thomas Borleau is a really good goal scorer too. He's really good with his hands. I've been watching him a lot with the NTTP. He's really shifty, so I'm really high on him. I hope he goes at least top 50.
Yeah, this is definitely a forward front-loaded draft like normal. But who do you think is like the top defenseman? Do you think it's Jamie Drysdale, Jake Sanderson, maybe even a little bit of Caden Goldie?
Braden Schneider. He's a really physical guy from the WHL playing with the Browns. I think he's a safe pick for whoever team picks him. I don't think he's gonna be really good offensively. I think he could be good like a shutdown guy. A good guy to be in your pairing. Like if you've seen all those Stanley Cup winners like St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Chicago, they had that shutdown guy that could win games, throw out the body, mature, great locker room guy too, and could produce.
All right, how far do you think he's gonna fall? Do you think he's gonna go top 15?
Braden Schneider, I think for him, it depends though. Like another guy I've been watching too, Dawson Mercer. He's also a pick. Safe picks, they usually come around mid first round. I don't think he's gonna release, but I don't think he's probably gonna rise like a Moritz side.
Moritz Sider, wow. I still can't believe the Wings took him with 6 last year. In fact, a year ago today was the 2019 NHL Draft.
Biggest bust of all time, Jack Hughes.
He's not.
You can't.
Yeah, not a good first year from any of them. Kirby Doc, Capo Caco,
Kirby
and
Doc
Jack
had the
Hughes.
best point. Kirby Doc had the best per game out of all. So
Like, this makes me wonder, is there even going to be a sophomore slump next year? Because that was more of like a freshman slump of anything.
If there is any though, if there's a sophomore slump, one of those guys are getting like 4 points next year.
Yeah.
But I think Kirby Doc with his skill set and speed and his hands, I think he could have a really good sophomore season. But I don't know what you guys think.
It depends where he's slotted, though.
Yeah.
Like, who is he mainly playing with this year?
I believe he was playing. I don't think he was playing with Kubalik though. I think he was playing with.
Nah, Kubalik was playing with,
Carpenter
like,
and,
with Kane
Well,
and...
at the end of the year, he was playing with Kubelik.
Oh, was he really? Oh.
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I think the top line was Alex Nylander, with I don't know. I think the top six. I want to say Nylander was with Kane because I think with Taves was playing with DeBrincat and Saad towards the. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure Kubalik was just getting the power play time towards the end, and he was playing on the line with Kirby Dach.
Man, Dominic Kubalik just coming out of nowhere in the NHL. And
30
is a,
goal
Vezina
season.
Trophy.
Have you
Not
guys
close to that. It was
seen that?
40-goal season though.
Have you guys seen the Kirby Dach spinorama against one of the Anaheim players? The puck, he went through the guy's legs while spinorama, got a shot. The goalie, it was sick.
Well, it's Anaheim. They can't
I don't know if you guys
move
seen-
their lives.
Well, it's not like they're San Jose.
Defense is garbage.
Yeah, and also I'm taking a look at last year's draft class. It was supposed to be super stacked, but now I'm starting to question a lot of things. Bowen Byram, he's gonna be good. Do you think he's gonna be NHL ready next year?
I
No.
mean, I think last year, after his 71-point season, and then the season that he had like a little his points per game went down a little. He had like some bad games. He was in like a losing streak for like some of the season, so I'm not.
And on that note, we're gonna move along to the other top-rated defenseman in that draft. We're not talking about Mort Sutter, but Victor Soderstrom. He's kind of like a safe pick of last year, drafted by Arizona. How long until he's ready? He was kind of like a high-rated defenseman, but I haven't really heard much of him since
I think
then.
3 years. I think 3 years, and then he could become like a Jacob Chitrin. He could be like that young.
He's kind of like a chick run,
really
yeah.
good guy. And Jacob
Honestly,
Chitrin would
like,
become Oliver Ekman Larson.
I was gonna say give him 1.5 years to get ready.
Last year's draft loaded with guys from the National Team Development Program. Not as many as this year. This year is loaded with great prospects
So
all
much talent
around.
in this one.
Yeah, so much talent. It's such a deep draft. I know that's what we said last year, and look how it's turned out so far.
Bro, nobody said the
Honestly,
2015 draft was stacked.
The 2015
Yeah, the
draft,
2015
it's starting to get. I'm starting to draw comparisons to the 2003 draft.
Yes.
It's
Honestly,
so stacked.
Yeah, there was like 2 players, maybe 3 players who haven't. No, yeah.
And
players
all three
who
of them,
haven't really broken.
were drafted
like,
by the
yeah.
Bruins.
Yeah, and Nick Merkley too. Nick Merkley was drafted
What about
pick
the
30th,
guy
and he hasn't
Arizona selected? He hasn't broken out yet.
Nick
really.
Merkley?
Yeah, Nick Merkley. He had a lot of injuries though, but he played pretty good in the.
AHL.
KHL, yeah.
He was more than a point.
Look, AHL means nothing, and we all know that.
It's not true. AHL is basically a
That's not
development
really
of young
true.
prospects.
Well, yeah, development,
Yeah.
but like, have you seen how many players have had great AHL numbers come up to the NHL and just bust out?
Carl
AKA
Alsner.
Derek Sparks is one of them.
Like, there's a lot of like guys that are just set for the AHL that just will never make it in this league, or have shown that they would never make it in this league. Seth Griffin
Yeah.
is one of those names.
Derek
You
Sparks
see him
definitely one of those guys.
everywhere in the
I
AHL.
wanna
Always
throw a
leads
name.
in the top 10 in points. Can never transition down to the NHL.
I kind of want to throw a name out there. You guys know Alex Formanton, right?
Yeah, Formanton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Ottawa
Yes.
in
I
2017,
feel
I
like
believe.
he's in the AHL. Do you think he's gonna be just as good as the NHL?
With
I don't
his
think he's going to
speed,
be just as good. I think
It's
he's going to be like
tough.
a depth forward.
Because normally in the NHL, a second round pick isn't as valuable because not a lot of players make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a second round picks are just as good. Not just as good. It's just below first round pick.
Well, it
And if you
depends on
draft
where.
a
If it's
steal-
like mid to late second round, then
No,
we're
no,
getting
and think
into
about
like.
it. If you draft a steal that doesn't fit into your team, you could trade him to other teams for insane stacked lineups.
That's true.
At least that's how it
I
works
see
in
Formanton
CHEL.
being a good second or third line.
And speaking of CHEL,
Yes, go on.
I feel like maybe I have a topic we could talk about.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
How about
Chell.
how about we discuss our favorite CHELs?
Oh, you
Ooh.
stole that.
It's kind of hard to pick one because literally the last 5 years have been the same.
Yeah. Mine
It's
would
just
be
been a
NHL
freaking
14.
roster update for
How
60
about
bucks.
Yeah.
let's go around the player let's go around the people who are in this call right now, and we'll just say what's our favorite Chell games,
Alright.
and we'll talk about it from there. So we'll
Alright,
start
Har-
from Harry Rice.
For me, it's a tie between NHL 04 and NHL 15, personally. 15, obviously, last gen.
Okay. John?
Yeah, I mean, I think I really liked NHL 15. I liked NHL 14 with Roder on it a lot too. But I think my favorite was probably NHL 5 with Vinny Vocabulary on it. I used to rip that game a lot on GameCube. It was
06
it
at
was
the
when
Capital
was it 06 then?
Yeah,
With
I think.
Vocabulary? Yeah, maybe that was the one. But yeah, regardless, I used to rip that game on GameCube, and when it was used to be called GM mode. Yeah, it was definitely NHL.
yeah, GM
yeah,
mode.
NHL
recording,
06
so
also had
I
that
used
NHL 94 thing where you could go into a bootlegged sort of version of NHL 94 with none of the real players on it.
Yeah, I think why I confused, yeah, because I bought it in '05. I think my dad bought it for me in '05, but yeah, used to play that a lot. Used to play GM mode like every day. It was insane. So that'll probably be my favorite.
All right, Owen Oakley.
Mine's NHL 14 with Bruder on the cover.
Okay.
That game changed, basically. It was. I don't know how.
All right, so you're just saying it's just an overall good game.
I mean, yeah. Changed a lot of things.
All right.
Changed Joe.
I didn't even realize we're giving reasons for them being our favorites.
All right, Ray Bro, you're up.
I had to be a tie with NHL 12, and some people might think this is actual soccer, but I think NHL 17 was pretty good with the World Cup add-on to it. It was pretty good. But honestly, yeah, like NHL 12 was the best game in my opinion. It was all around a good game, especially like ESL. Like the way that you could customize your player, not like the usual like set prototypes like Dangler or something like that. You actually have to add like points or something to a certain trait, and you end up building your ESHL player. And even
Like those
also,
old
like,
EA pucks.
Oh yeah.
or even like the cellies. You're able to like customize the cellies, like where your hand moves when you score a goal or something, or even the dangles too. The dangles were pretty sick, like the one hand.
Pretty thick.
Yeah.
I was never able to do like the one-handed deke in like NHL 12 and that. It's kind of weird now because I mastered it in NHL 19 and 20.
It's an absolute cheese.
All right, so I'm next. My favorite game, well, CHEL game, to actually, a lot of people might be surprised with this, but NHL 11. I think NHL 11 had the best soundtrack. It was the first game where you could actually do big ass hits instead of just having to like freeze onto a guy and then just casually hit him like in the older games. Yeah, you could just destroy guys. You could do the custom celebrations. It was just overall a really fun game in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yep, and following through, TBC, what's your favorite CHEL game?
It's. I know this seems a bit, a bit common, but NHL 14, because not only is the soundtrack my favorite, but the GM mode is just, the sim is actually realistic. When your top guys are injured, you'll start losing more games, right? And not only that, but Druan and Stamkos are absolute cheese in that game.
I'm surprised nobody brought up the Live the Life mode.
I'm surprised no one brought up NHL
yeah, that
07.
too.
NHL 07, the first game on the Xbox 360.
The first
And
game with
PS3.
the first game with the
Yeah.
skill stick.
Yep, the first game with the skill stick too. You're right.
Also, another reason why I liked NHL 14 is not only the NHL 94 anniversary mode, but the NHL Moments mode, where you could
Oh,
redo.
Moments Live,
Just
yes.
the-
Moments Live was
Yeah.
awesome.
Game
Never
7,
understood.
Boston, Toronto.
Never
John
un-
probably voided that one.
Never understood why NHL 94 was the anniversary edition was loved. It's just NHL 94 controls and blue ice.
There was also the.
And
I wish
big
it was
hits
8-bit,
and hard
honestly.
shots and
I think the Legacy
fastness.
Edition too,
And
though.
you can do that in regular NHL 14. And I have a
Yeah,
hot
well,
take.
I'd rather not have to change the settings. Okay, plus the sirens are better.
I have a hot take. Speaking of, I do have a hot take, by the way.
I feel like NHL.
Ooh, a hot take for CHEL?
NHL 94 is not nearly as good as people make it out to be.
Why is
Facts.
that?
Sorry, Sporty?
Why is that?
It's not even due to the fact that it's like an older game and it's SNES. I love the old like NHL 02 through whatever, like the old hockey games that were on Xbox and whatnot. But I just feel like it's really clunky controls. The movement is fluent, but everything else about it is just not as good as I would argue games like 97 and 98 when they were on SNES.
Going
I
back,
definitely
yeah.
agree with that.
And on that note with NHL 98, NHL 98, 99, and NHL 2000 on the PS1 had the worst graphics I've ever
They had
seen.
the worst graphics ever.
Bro, the PS1 was
But it was
lit.
so much fun.
The crowd looked like
NHL 99 was like 6 years before I was born.
you were.
3 years before I was born, but I still played it.
It was 3 years before I was born.
Damn, you guys are old.
Do you guys
Boomers.
remember like that EA Sports NHL like 3-on-3 arcade thing?
Oh
Where
God,
you get like, the power ups and that.
that
It was on
game.
the PS3.
That game pissed me off.
Yes. Wait, do you guys remember NHL Legacy Edition?
Don't.
Right.
I've been looking
Honestly,
for that
guys,
game
I
for
have a
so
hot
long.
take.
Bro, it was
Wow.
my first ever hockey game.
Are you kidding me?
I'm
I
not.
think that
Wow.
I think that what what do you guys think? What game is the most innovative or like game changing for the franchise?
Skill stick NHL 07.
NHL 7
Yeah,
just
I'd
bringing the
say-
skill stick. Yeah,
I
I'm
need
gonna
to
have to agree
know.
with Harry Rice. I think it's either NHL 07, maybe even NHL 11, where it allows you to do custom celebrations and big hits.
Yeah, NHL 11 was like the game I always borrowed from the library.
The library? Wait,
The
what? You can
li-
order games from the library?
The library.
Yeah, my library has
Are you
games.
talking about, I hope, are you like mistaking that for like Redbox or something?
Redbox, dude. Is Redbox even still a thing?
I see him around in the local Walgreens. Probably hasn't been touched in like freaking like 4 years.
Just collecting dust.
I
up
can
there.
probably bet you if I go out there, I'll still find Alvin and the Chipmunks the Squeak Wall.
Oh, don't. Please, let's not get started on that. Just not.
You could probably find like NHL 09 in there.
Guy, can I just say something really embarrassing?
Yeah.
Oh no, what?
I might have seen Alvin and the Chipmunks the Squeakquel in theaters.
Yeah.
Don't be ashamed. I saw the road trip in theaters.
Yeah, honestly, same.
The actual worst of the Chipmunk films.
Yeah, I see.
Those old
I've
Alvin and the
seen
Chipmunk
her.
films, back when I was a kid, they were the best thing ever.
They were.
Yeah,
Bro, they were the bomb.
bro,
Mhm.
Johnny
Really,
Test
like-
was better though.
I've never
Johnny
watched Johnny
Test.
Test, but I
I
I've-
don't think Johnny Test was a movie.
yeah, it was
No, it's a show, but it's still better.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the Johnny Test episode 1 in theaters.
See it in 11 minutes,
They should
boys.
do that, bro. They'd make so much money off of that.
They would. No, they wouldn't. There's no one that can go
I'll
see it
see
right
like
now.
Half an hour after.
That wouldn't make sense though, because trailers take about a half hour on its own. So
Yeah.
you'd be watching half-hour trailers for an 11-minute episode.
You know, I got a hot take.
No, no, no,
I
no,
actually
no.
love
No,
trailers.
no, there is no trailer. It's just full surprise.
Is that surprise Nordic?
Imagine.
It'd be like this. Warner Brothers presents a feature episode. Johnny
No.
Test,
Bro.
episode 1, pilot.
Johnny. Johnny
Dookie
Test.
assaults Susan.
Speaking of, I've never really watched Giants Test. What were the name of like the twins?
It was Susan and Mary.
That's it. Because from what I've always known, they were just called the twins. I've never watched Giants Test.
No.
That's you
They
might
were-
be
they
shocked.
were-
I've never watched it.
What?
I've never seen
Bro,
Johnny
that was
Test
my
either.
Childhood show.
Didn't they come out with like a reboot or something?
Yeah, I think so.
No.
Or I
I
thought
don't
they
know,
were
it's just kinda
talking
just
about it.
weird.
We're going off topic here, but I just want to say this: all old cartoons are being rebooted, and they all suck.
SpongeBob is getting
Like,
rebooted.
they're stealing away our childhood.
The magic.
Look, it may be because we've grown up though, and that we're just not liking the
Guys,
same,
guys,
you know,
guys.
more kid-directed shows.
One.
Right?
They,
Like if you look at like Cartoon Network and that, during like the 2009-2010, that was the golden age of my time.
Yes.
You
That
had
was-
like
that was
Adventure
a
Time,
pot.
regular
That was a golden
show.
pot, bro.
Gumball didn't start then. What
Bro,
else
what
was
did they
around
do
there?
to Ben 10? They made the
Ben
dude like
10,
2
I
feet
remember that.
shorter.
They rebooted that.
Yeah, they
into
made the dude like
something-
2 feet shorter.
Yeah.
We're talking about all these Cartoon Network shows, and I haven't seen a single one of them.
One Cartoon Network. Yeah. Well, because I think you had Teletoon.
Oh yeah, Teletoon was the stuff.
Bruh, Teletoon was the spot.
Dude,
The best
Caillou
Cartoon
is
Network
still
shows
an
that
OG.
Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, he's probably
Wait,
dead
did
from
any- did
cancer
any of
now,
you
but
guys watch, like, Treehouse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
You guys remember the Wiggles?
dude, the
Wiggles,
Wiggles.
Okay.
Dude, anyone remember?
Before we get off topic,
Fruit salad.
we're gonna get into,
Yummy.
We've been off topic for like 5 minutes, Ray, bro.
I'm sorry. Before we get off topic, we have to go to the COVID
Oh, bro,
spikes.
we are way off topic.
COVID
Dude, we've been off
spikes
topic
in,
for
Tampa
5
Bay.
minutes.
Oh yeah, the COVID spike. Let's talk about the COVID spike. That's more on
Yeah.
topic.
Yeah, the COVID spike.
Alright.
Yeah,
Back to schedule,
the
boys.
COVID spikes in Tampa Bay. It's making me wonder.
On-
Will they even
Yeah.
have the playoffs?
Absolutely.
I know
I
it's
don't
all set, but if there's more cases, like look at Matthews. He got COVID.
Yeah,
He's
but
expected to
there's-
recover, but he got COVID.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
basically you can get testing. You could probably get like a fake positive or like a fake negative. So you don't really know yet because testing isn't really reliable. Yeah, 2 hours.
Let's just assume they're all positive tests. I wouldn't be surprised because look at what Florida's doing right now. Like they're partying on the beaches and everywhere.
I heard they're opening
Like,
up
bruh.
Disneyland July 17th.
Yeah, dude.
Mhm.
I honestly don't think Tampa and Florida might be able to make it, and I think they're gonna squeak in like Buffalo and New Jersey.
Oh,
If
please
they-
Ah,
do.
yeah,
Oh, that means
Buffalo.
Tampa
Buffalo's
Bay
gonna
is
get
eligible for
eliminated.
the lottery.
Then how
Tampa Bay's gonna pick
how the
number one,
draft
boys.
lottery is gonna work then?
Dude, how's it
How's
gonna
the draft-
work with the top seed Tampa Bay Lightning being replaced by
They're
the
gonna put
Buffalo
Pittsburgh- they're gonna put
Sabers?
Pittsburgh there to replace them, and
Yeah,
they're
and
gonna
then all
move
of a
everyone else
sudden-
up a seat or two.
No, they're gonna put the Buffalo Sabers
Oh,
just so they can
no.
say, "Hey, our playoff streak ended," and then they get swept by the Canadians.
Tampa Bay about to
No,
come.
no,
Tampa Bay
I'm
about
pretty
to
sure what
enter
they
the
would do
draft
is
lottery, and
they
then
would
all of a
put
sudden,
Pittsburgh in the
on
round
draft
robin.
day, with the first overall pick, the Tampa Bay Lightning are proud to select Alexis Lafreniere.
No, but yeah, I think they would put Pittsburgh at 4th, and they would move everyone up one. So Carolina 5th, and the Islanders 6th.
So who would
and then the
Montreal
Leafs
face?
7th.
It's funny because the Sabres like cleared everybody. They fired almost everybody. Oh, guess what? You're in the playoffs. Everybody, get back in there. Get
Oh,
back.
Ah,
wait,
shit!
No, can we not? Actually, can we do that format? Because the Leafs would face the Habs in the play-in round if they get rid of
Oh,
Tampa.
that'd be
and
so
Florida.
easy for the Habs.
Oh.
Easily Habs in
So
three.
easy.
What
big
is,
Please
easy,
win,
bro.
I'll lose.
F in the Habs.
What is
Or F for the Habs.
Dude, that'd be so easy.
what
Habs
is,
in three.
John's
Bro, Carey
What
Price
is
can't
John's,
make a save to save his life.
Difference is this would be the playoffs. And we've seen how
John's
Freddie
right now,
Anderson
you
choks
know
in the
he's
playoffs.
thinking about something to say right now.
Oh yeah, I forgot
He's
John's
probably
in
thinking of
here.
his huge hot take.
His huge hot take of McDavid getting traded to the Leafs for a 7th.
And Cody Cece.
Shirley would do that.
Hell yeah, and he'd throw in a free
they
Draisaitl.
don't have
Actually, no. Throw Cody Cece and Martin Marincin in that trade too.
Excuse me,
Just
do
make it a
not
little
throw
more
in.
fair.
Oh,
That is Leafs legend Mark Marincin.
exactly.
Cody Cece and Martin Marincin.
Yeah, bro, you better be happy.
John just hears Cody Cece and Mark Marincin and immediately just unmutes.
I hear those two names and I get stressed and I got to get in here and make sure they're leaving.
Yeah, we're sending them to Edmonton in a 7th for Connor McDavid.
And Leon
So
Draisaitl.
Leafs can be in more cap hell.
Well,
Yeah.
before. So, John, what do you think about Montreal Toronto series if Tampa gets out of the?
Yeah, let's just say like
playoffs
the
because,
everybody getting COVID kind of like knocks them out and they can't go, and they like boost everybody up and like Buffalo comes in. So that means it would likely be Leafs versus Habs.
So
I
let's see
mean, yeah, I don't know if you guys are referring to like through the reseeding or whatever, but if somehow Montreal and Toronto played in the series, I mean, it's interesting. Montreal played well against the Leafs in the season, but I mean, we've seen it time and time again that season doesn't necessarily translate to the playoffs.
Looks at Tampa last year.
Yep, and especially with this break, I mean, we haven't seen hockey since middle of March, so I don't know. I mean, looking at a non-biased sense, if you look at goaltending matchup, I mean, Price has shown that he can be really good in playoffs, but Anderson, while he has been good, struggles to kind of close out games. So I don't know. I would probably, in terms of clutch factor and experience, I'd probably give the edge to Carey Price. But when I look at every other aspect, I would have to give it to the Leafs more just because, I mean, there's big question marks around the Habs. I mean, even going into the Habs Penguins series, like, will Max Domi even be healthy enough to go? Like, or I guess will he be comfortable enough with his health to go? And will his doctors give him the okay? That depth is guys like Kahnawake going to even play? Or are they going to go with what they finished with the season? There's just so many question marks around the Habs. I mean, that left side of the defense, you're talking about their best defenseman being Sherratt. And then after that, can Mete bring enough? So I would go with the Leafs, probably. We'll have a Leafs fan, but I mean, in a non-biased sense, I think their only really edge is like if Carey Price can stand on his head.
John, are you really trying to forget about Habs legend Carl Alsner?
You mean
Carl
Laval
Alsner?
Rocket?
Yeah. Laval Rocket defenseman Carl Alsner.
Carl Alsner is nowhere near as good as Cody Cece. Get on our level.
But is Cody Cece's nearly as good as Marty Marincin?
No, they're both goats.
I mean, I don't know. I'd rather Cody Cece on the penalty kill, but at least Martin Marincin can go up the middle of the ice for a random goal every now and then.
Wait, didn't Martin Marincin score a goal this season?
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice one too.
Off the post, got the rebound, boom.
Wait, shoot, wasn't that the game
Well,
winner
because it was
between
Marty
the Leafs and
Marincin,
the
it did
Lightning?
hit the post though. It didn't go right ahead.
Martin Marincin scored a game-winning goal. Put that in your head.
Against the Lightning? Was it against the Lightning?
I didn't think it was against the Lightning. It was Vancouver. Thank you. Yeah.
Did Marty Marincin score more?
Vancouver's gonna get screwed by Minnesota. If
Did
they let Martin Marincin score a goal.
Did Marty Marincin score more game winners this year than Shea Weber?
All I can say is Martin Marincin single-handedly screwed the Leafs over in the 2017 series against the Capitals.
And the
Hey,
2018 series.
you know,
and the
we weren't gonna win that
2019
anyway.
series.
He was partially responsible for 2 game winners against Big Rip.
Yeah. But you know what? It was just his first playoff season with the Leafs, so
He was
a lot of
obviously
people's last
afraid.
season with the Leafs.
it was obviously
Honestly,
just,
He's not known for
this
being in the
playoffs
spotlight.
would be the best.
He was
Like,
afraid of
honestly,
Ovechkin
I
knocking
don't
him out
love
like he's an
Ovechkin.
18-year-old.
Oh my god.
Well, I'll tell you guys
Are you
this:
talking
as
about-
long as the Leafs don't play the Boston Bruins or Marcus Johansson, we could be going places. Folks.
Why Marcus
the only way he's
Johansson?
playing Marcus Johansson is the Sabres somehow get in.
Why Marcus Johansson?
And it's NHL, so it's gonna be Leafs Bruins at some point because
It's gonna they're gonna find a way to get Leafs and Bruins in the finals.
bro, I swear to God, if that happens, if they move the Leafs to the West and make them face off against the Bruins in the finals, I'm gonna be so triggered. I'm gonna be more triggered than Vancouver fans in 2011.
They're gonna be more triggered
Okay,
than
you
John
can't
in
get that
2019.
are you gonna
What do
get
you
that
think?
trigger where you're just gonna go out and just riot?
when they
guys
move
think
the
about-
Leafs and Detroit Red Wings to the west and bring Atlanta Thrashers and Quebec Nordiques back.
What do you guys think about Edmonton's odds?
Getting
think they're
swept
low.
in the play-in.
Edmonton doesn't have enough depth, kind of like the Leafs.
I mean, they acquired a
I
lot
mean-
of depth in the deadline. Ennis, Athanasiou,
Tyler Ennis.
Yamamoto.
Tyler Ennis the
Yam-
Menace, Enzo.
Didn't
Sabres
Ennis get like a
Guys,
hat trick on the
guys,
Leafs
come on.
fourth line?
Let's just be honest. Oilers are getting swept by the Blackhawks.
Yeah,
Oh.
honestly. I'm taking Kane, Kubalik, and DeBrincat over McDavid, Draisaitl, and Nugent.
I mean,
Wait, now that I think about
I-
it, didn't the Blackhawks sell during the deadline?
Yeah, they sold Eric Gustafson and someone else I forget.
Robin Leonard.
Bro, the Blackhawks are still gonna
Yep.
beat them.
yeah, but here's the thing. I think, in my opinion, that the Oilers and Chicago forward depth is equal, basically. They have the same forward depth. Their defense are both, equal, shaky, and goaltending too. I think they're a pretty equal team all around. I think McDavid and Drexel could get it done with Yamamoto and Nuge. I feel like Jujar could step it up his game, and I feel like the Oilers could win.
Oilers are kind of like a wishy-washy sort of thing to me.
mean, you
I'm
could
agreeing
say-
with almost everything you said, but in my perspective, the Oilers do have a chance to win, but I honestly think they're going to lose. They can't just get carried every game by McDavid and Draisaitl.
Okay,
Actually,
you
yeah,
can't really,
yeah.
you can't really say that anymore because they got Nuge and Yamamoto.
But come on,
Howard
how?
Nugent
That line
and
was
Yamamoto
so
are gonna be
good.
in the playoffs.
Yeah, but Sporty, don't you look at that Penguins team, like when they won, like even in back-to-back years, but literally when you're talking about a year in their best defenseman being Ron Hainsey.
That's true.
And
Justin Schultz.
That Penguins team reminds me more of the Leafs than the Oilers.
fair, but I mean the Oilers have two goalies that they're hoping that one of them are going to step up, right? So
Yeah.
Mike Smith.
at the end
It's
of the day, if
absolutely gonna be
one
Mike
steps
Smith.
up and they can rely on their top heavy forwards, like I'm not going to say that. I mean, I think they could be cup contenders, but it's just one of those things. Anything can happen, especially in this kind of format. If McDavid and Draisaitl start like going, and they get an easier path, and they're on a tear, like we can't really say it's not going to happen because, I mean, anything can happen. And it's McDavid, it's Draisaitl. Like McDavid and Draisaitl, I'm not saying that they're comparable in style, but they're like giving me huge Crosby Malkin vibes, just in terms of like if one's not going, the other guy can just carry a game.
Yeah.
So.
That's
Especially
basically how
now
it's been that
yeah.
season.
Especially
Except
now that
Draisaitl's
McDavid-
clearly been the better player this season.
on
No, McDavid's been the better player. Draisaitl can't play
Yeah,
defense.
but you
He's in
can't-
his life.
Okay, you can't really say he can't play defense. If you actually look at his stats and his game percentage, he's
-5.
actually like pretty good.
How can you say Draisaitl doesn't play defense? He's the only defenseman they have.
Well, TBC, I'll say
Feels like
Draisaitl plays
Xenophobia.
better defense than McDavid.
Oh.
Draisaitl was expected a lot, and I'm not like. Let's be honest here. He's not anywhere touching Selke because, in general perspective, he was just given a responsibility and he did decently. I mean, the others were the second best penalty kill unit. So when you look at that solely alone, it's not like Draisaitl was doing anything wrong. I mean, if you want to look at plus minus, yeah. I mean, Draisaitl was a minus player this year. I wouldn't look too much into plus minus because the Oilers are just not really a great defensive team, 5-on-5
I know.
anyways. So
I was just
I mean, I don't know. I think the Oilers units were just good this year. I mean, credits to the assistant coaches, I guess, but also in a different
Yeah.
perspective, like the Oilers have shaky goaltending, like we've talked about, inconsistent goaltending, I should say, and like their defense, especially when Clefbaum was out, like who do they have there to step up? Not
Matt
really anyone.
Banning.
Ethan Bear, Ethan Bear, and
Connell Nurse
Cale
Yeah, Ethan
Jones.
Bear had a good year, but Ray, bro, when you look at Ethan Bear, are
Yeah.
you qualifying him as a top pairing defenseman?
Oh no,
At least not right now. At least not right now.
He has definitely his potential to be like second pair of top four.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, he played like a top 4 defenseman this year.
Mm-hmm.
He was definitely, I would say, top 5 in terms of rookie defenseman. Maybe not top 5 because there was really good defensemen. So I'll say
Well-
top 7 rookie defenseman.
Top 7 or top 10.
The rookie defenseman this year, insane list. I don't think we've ever seen that in a while.
Car.
All right, that just brings the contention of this question: who's better, Cal Makar or Quinn Hughes?
Honestly,
Go Makar.
it depends.
It's so
Like,
That's a
you can
loaded
even,
obviously,
question.
in my opinion.
Quinn Hughes.
honestly, yeah,
It's so
it's
it's
honestly
so
so
obvious
hard
that it's
because
Jack Hughes.
I mean,
Well, there's a difference between who's going
yeah,
to be the better player and who had the better year.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Both are basically, well, definitely Calder finalists. Who's more likely to
Yeah.
win it?
Honestly, you can see like the difference between Hughes
Makar.
and
Cale
Makar
Makar.
though, because Makar actually on the point, Makar is more like a wrist shot user, snapshot. Well, you can see Quinn Hughes is more like the clap bomb kind of guy. Like if you see it in like the
Yeah, he
videos, you see like yeah,
Quinn Hughes.
you see like yeah, you see Quinn Hughes like keeping his head up, scanning the ice for even like if you look at the replay of him taking a slap shot, you see him keeping his head up. That's how he scored most of the goals. If
Head up
not,
all the
like
way,
tip-ins and stuff.
loaded.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And even then, Makar is more like a. I feel like Makar is like a Nathan McKinnon on defense. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think when you see Quinn Hughes play, a lot of his playmaking ability comes from his vision around the ice. I mean, he has a
Yeah.
great ability. A lot of people say like it's really tough to be on the ice and see the whole ice versus like if you're up in the stands or even up in the press box. But for a guy like Quinn Hughes, it seems like he can see the whole ice. I think my edge for Cale Makar is just in terms of like how he can make like one play that can like instantly change like the whole dynamic of like what's going on the ice. Like I think for Quinn Hughes, the play making ability and like his vision and like his IQ is just he's going to be a top
His
10
hockey
defenseman in
IQ.
this league.
Oh, undoubtedly,
His
both
hockey
of them
IQ
are.
is insane. I just
Okay,
think Cale Makar's skill set, like you
mad.
said, Nate McKinnon on defense. I think his skill set is like something we have not seen in a while. Like when we talk
Oh
about
yeah.
Erik Karlsson in 2017, like Cale Makar has the
In
potential
his
to do something
prime,
like
basically.
that. Exactly, right? So I just think when you look at Cale Makar, his goal scoring this year, I mean, when you guys were looking at the highlights with me, like, this is the guy that could have had so many, like, 2 goal games because he just makes those opportunities for himself. So I guess if you're looking
Yeah.
at a
Exactly.
broader perspective, like, Cale Makar probably individually did more this season, like himself, like whether it was creating more for himself or getting in opportunities for
Yeah.
himself. I think Quinn Hughes created more opportunities for others, if that makes sense.
Mhm. And in
Pers-
my
Well,
opinion,
that's true.
I think
person,
Cale Makar could become an Erik Karlsson with better defense. Like he's seemed that good to me this year.
Honestly,
Well,
yes.
well, if you actually watch the games, you can Cale Makar is more lenient on defense, while you see Hughes is more better.
personally, the way I see it, I think Hughes should win because Vancouver, aside from Hughes, is kind of defensively inept, and the fact that Hughes was their best
Hughes,
defenseman.
Yeah, you have to put it around like who they're like, who his like line mates are, who he's playing with usually per every game.
Okay, and
Well, the thing,
I'll just step in and say I know that's been the argument for a lot of people. Like, look at the Avalanche team versus look at the Canucks team. The Avalanche also battled with a lot of injuries, and
That is true.
not just any players, like specifically their top
It
players.
was
Grubauer went
yeah,
out.
their big guys.
McKinnon was the only guy that was consistently healthy.
Rantanen, yeah,
Landeskog went out.
Rantanen,
And
Kadri went
Landeskog.
out.
yeah,
Rantanen went out. So they were battling with all these injuries. And I think even with Makar, he was playing with different he was playing with different defensemen
Ryan Gray.
versus Quinn Hughes, who was playing with Tanev for the whole second half. And if we can all agree, when Tanev's healthy, he's a very good defensive defenseman. So when you
Yes.
have a
Yep.
defensive defenseman like that, healthy, Quinn Hughes can do his own thing and create stuff for himself. And I think that's a little bit of the difference for me.
yeah.
Well, both
That's
are going to
best.
be like top premier players in this league for years to come. But just for his personal bias, I want to bring one other guy in here to compare the two: Rasmus Dahlin.
Ooh,
You knew I had to
2018
do
first
this.
overall pick.
Yep. You had to
Absolute
put the three
bust.
together. Like, how would you rank the three between
Hughes,
the
Makar,
Dahlin,
and Darlene.
Makar, and Hughes?
I'd say Makar at 1, Darlene at 2, and Hughes at 3 at their peak.
Imagine
Okay.
thinking Hughes will be
Hon-
better than Makar, and then
Honestly,
imagine thinking
it
that
depends.
Darlene's going to be better than Hughes.
It depends though. If I were to rank it, I'll rank it in like specific categories. If you're talking about pure offensive ability, I think Hughes is number one, then Dalling's number two, Makar is number three. Pure offensive.
Wow.
I'm sorry, pure offensive. But defensive and all around games, like pure what do you call game changing? I would say Makar's number one, Dalling's number two, and Makar's not Makar, Hughes is
See,
number three because has the ability to slow.
Ray, bro, I'll disagree with you on that. Just saying, I think out of those three, Darlene is definitely going to be behind in terms of the defensive aspect. I think Hughes is already showing that he can actually be like competent in the defensive zone. I think Sporty can step in and maybe give his opinion on that. But based on what I've seen from Darlene, I think, I mean, the fact that this was a second year, like you're seeing these two other guys like jumped right into their first year, I think Darlene still has ways to go when
Yeah, Darlene has always been more offensive defenseman. He still has a lot to work on in terms defensively, like most young defensemen do. Hughes and Makar, they're not perfect. They all three need a little bit of extra seasoning to officially like step in and be like that official top shutdown offensive defenseman in this league. But yeah, I'm agreeing with you, John, that Darlene is definitely behind the two when it comes to defensive play.
And I think that makes a big statement that this guy, it's already his second year, and these guys just jumped in. And I feel like they're already kind of ahead of that.
I mean, you could say for Dowling that he's been playing on a really bad Buffalo team. You can like factor that in too. And he's been playing with sometimes like Ristolainen, he's not known for good defense. That's all. But isn't he like playing the second?
This year he was mainly playing with Jake McCabe and Henry Yokiharu.
Yeah, he was bouncing between one of those two, maintaining that first line.
All right, so we've been going for 46 minutes.
Yeah, I honestly think it's a good way to close out the first episode of the Challenge Chill podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we leave it at that.
Yeah, this was a good start.
So before.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming.
Congrats.
Yep.
Yeah, congrats on 12.3K. When the playoffs come back, I'm going with the hot take 30K.
Oh,
hey,
I'm seeing at least 20K. I'm gonna say 25K. I don't see a jump that big. He's gonna have a big jump, but I don't think 30K. I'm saying like 25.
Hey, end of the play. Hey, Stanley Cup final.
That's true.
Yeah.
Noise
playoffs
complaints.
are gonna get us
Well-
hyped up.
Well, congrats on 12 point. Hope you'll.
Yep.
Of course, man.
And that should close it out. So thank you guys for listening into the first Challenge Chill podcast. Once again, it's gonna be on Harry Rice's channel for a little bit, and then we're gonna be building our own channel for the Challenge Chill podcast. So we hope you check us out. Subscribe to Harry Rice for some more Challenge Chill podcasts. We're gonna be doing this every week. Like it up, leave a comment, tell us what you think, give us some of your thoughts. And if you guys have any last things to say before we close this out?
I'll just say it's dope to see in the community and come together to create a pretty cool podcast. Yeah, like I said,
All right,
yeah,
so
appreciate you guys having me
John's
on.
a robot there, so that's a great way to use it out.
Yeah, I think if you guys want, I can put your links in the description for sure. And if they are in the description, go sub to everybody. Hot Take,
You're gonna
Owen,
forget.
Ray Bro, Spotty, and TBC. Bet $5.
You didn't say me, you dumbass.
Damn, big rips. I said Sporty. I said Hot Take, Owen, Ray Bro, Sporty, TBC.
Okay, sorry, I talked over you then.
Alright.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, if the links are in the description, if you guys don't mind, they will be there. Go sub to them. They're all awesome guys, especially Sporty. Totally not a urinating tree ripoff. And go check
Shut
out.
up.
Yeah, but go check out.
Watch the video I uploaded today.
Yes, I did. It was the one on Fucking, I watched it. I know I watched it. I know I watched it. What was it? Damn it. Oh yeah, it was the Louis Erickson one. It was the yeah, it was the Louis Erickson one. Yeah,
Hashtag
that was a
sport.
great video. That was a great one.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. But yeah, go check out Sporty, go check out Ray Bro, go check out TVC, go check out Owen, and go check out HotTakeHockey. They're all great guys. Links will be in the description.
Especially check out the last one.
Yeah.
Definitely, go check out that last one.
Yep, and we're gonna have to remind like 10 times to put us in the description. Undoubtedly.
You guys are gonna keep adding me on our group server. Add the links. All right, so I think that should end it. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.
Yeah,
Peace.
peace.